Choosing a career, man, it can feel like you're staring at this giant unsolved puzzle, right? It's one of the biggest decisions we ever have to make. But what if I told you there's a simple psychological framework to help you find all the right pieces? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today.
This is the big one. We all face this question. And honestly, the pressure to get it right can be pretty intense. From family, from friends, even from ourselves, it can feel totally overwhelming. So where do you even start?
Well, the good news is you don't have to just wander around in the dark. Psychology actually gives us a framework. Think of it as a set of 3 specific keys. And these aren't just ideas, they're actual tools that can unlock the door to a career you'll genuinely love.
Okay, so let's get to our first key. This one is all about your foundation. Before we even get into skills or passions, we've got to understand your natural potential. You know, the raw material you're working with from the get-go.
And that potential has a name. It's called aptitude. Now, here's the super important difference. Aptitude isn't about what you're good at today. It's your built-in capacity to become great at something down the road, once you get the right training. You can think of it as a sneak peek at your future success. But aptitude isn't just a single thing. It's actually more like a cycle. It starts with being ready and able to pick up a skill, but then it's fueled by the real satisfaction you get from doing it. And that satisfaction, it just makes you want to learn more, which makes you better at it. It's the combination of all 3 that really creates that powerful potential.
All right, on to our second key. Here, we're shifting gears from your potential to your passion. I mean, having a natural talent for something is great, but what's the engine that actually pushes you to use it? Well, that's where your interests come into play.
To put it simply, interest is what you like. It's that magnetic pull that makes you pick one thing over another without even thinking about it. It's what you do in your free time, the stuff you read about, the things you just can't help but pay attention to. Now, this next part is huge. You got to think about why you do things. Is it for intrinsic reasons, the pure love of the activity itself? Or is it for extrinsic rewards, like a paycheck or someone telling you, good job? Seriously, figuring this out is a total game changer for finding long-term happiness at work.
And that brings us to our third and final key. So we've looked at your potential and we've looked at your passion. Now it's time to take a good hard look at your current toolkit. What are the skills you can actually use right now?
This is your ability. You might also hear people call it intelligence. It's basically your power to take what you already know and use it to solve problems. See, this isn't about what you could learn. It's about what you can do effectively today. You've probably heard of one of the first attempts to measure this, right? The intelligence quotient, or IQ. The original formula was kind of simple. It tried to capture your ability by comparing your mental age, based on test scores, to your actual age.
But, and this is a big but, that old formula had a major flaw. The whole concept of mental age just doesn't really work for adults, since our mental abilities are pretty much developed by then. Today, we know that ability is way more complex than a single number can show.
Okay, so let's recap. We have our 3 keys: aptitude, interest, and ability. Now for the really exciting part, how we put them all together to find your perfect career fit. So how do you actually use these keys to open the right doors for you? Well, it all boils down to a really simple 3-step process.
First up, you have to identify your potential. That's your aptitude. Then, step 2 is recognizing what really drives you. That's your interests. And finally, step 3 is assessing what you can do right now, your abilities. Simple as that.
And this is the magic. Your ideal career isn't found in just one of these areas. It's the bullseye, right smack in the middle. It is that perfect sweet spot where your potential, your passion, and your current skills all overlap.
Now, understanding this whole framework isn't just some interesting psychological theory. It is a practical, personal roadmap that you can start using today.
Think about it. With this kind of self-knowledge, you can look at any job description and see right through the fancy title. You can start asking the real questions. Does this role fit my natural aptitude? Does it actually spark my interest? And will it let me use my current abilities? All of a sudden, you're not just looking for a job anymore, you're looking for a perfect match.
And let's not forget the end goal here. This whole process, it's not just about finding a bigger paycheck. It's about making a decision that leads to genuine happiness and real, deep satisfaction in your day-to-day work.
So there you have it, the 3 psychological keys to unlocking your career path. You now have the framework, you have the tools. The only question left is, what will you unlock?